Good day, I'm Stacey Ann Smith, and this is your JIS News for June 5. Government has removed the GCT on electricity for all residential customers, as Prime Minister Portia Simpson declared this afternoon that the administration is sensitive to the concerns of Jamaicans. The Prime Minister was making her contribution to the 2012-2013 budget debate. She told the Parliament and Jamaicans that the revenue measures announced in the budget were necessary to restore and maintain economic stability, set the platform for growth while protecting the most vulnerable. Mrs. Simpson pointed to planned investments in transport, tourism, ICT and energy and other areas. She also announced several measures to give more Jamaicans access to a home. These include giving the NHT tax-free status for the next 2 years and providing suitable housing lands to add to the NHT's land bank. Also, effective September 1, interest rates will be reduced for general contributors and hotel workers. The 1% reduction for public sector workers will also be extended. A new mortgage partner policy is also being explored, aimed at affluent contributors interested in helping lower-income contributors, and the process for accessing NHT home grants has been modified. The National Security Ministry has launched the much-anticipated task force dedicated to going after major players in organized crime and corruption. Portfolio Minister Peter Bunting launched the Major Organized Crime and Anti-Corruption Task Force, MOCA, on Monday. Along with identifying, investigating and prosecuting major perpetrators of organized crime, the task force will also go after their facilitators and corrupt public officials, as well as their ill-gotten proceeds.
Crime is motivated primarily by profit, and the only way to permanently reduce the level of crime is to take the profit out of crime. Targeting these top bosses and their facilitators is therefore a most effective way to degrade criminal networks, seize their assets and undermine their power.
Justice Minister Senator Mark Golding has pledged his ministry's support to the task force, saying it represents a shift from simply throwing as much force as possible at the problem.
Where we're seeking to put together the resources that will aid law enforcement to look in a more laser-like way on all the different facets of the problem and tackle them in a very measured and very effective way.
The task force's core staff will comprise members of the Jamaica Constabulary Force with support from the Ministries of Justice and Finance, as well as civilian personnel. Former head of the Narcotics Division, Assistant Commissioner Carl Williams, has been appointed MOCA's director. Advancing the integration of the Caribbean community CARICOM is among government's top agenda items. Minister of Foreign Affairs and Foreign Trade, Senator AJ Nicholson, addressed the matter recently on the JIS discussion program Issues and Answers. The minister spoke of Jamaica's future in CARICOM, saying the creation of the single trade and economic bloc was in tandem with what's happening in the rest of the world. He noted that CARICOM was of the utmost importance to the region, but said changes may be necessary.
It might very well be that some of the arrangements, the mechanisms that have been put in place, they might have to be rethought.
Already, he says, there are encouraging signs.
I am buoyed, for example, when I hear that Minister Hilton and his counterpart at Port of Spain just recently are moving together to mend fences with LNG and other products.
And finally, Prime Minister Portia Simpson is reiterating that Jamaica is not looking to sever all ties with the British monarchy, even as it takes steps to replace the Queen as the country's head of state.
Jamaica holds and will always hold the British monarchy in high esteem and has found within that institution many areas for emulation as we pursue a path for sustainable development for all our citizens.
The Prime Minister adds that Jamaica will also continue to value its membership in the Commonwealth. She was addressing a beacon lighting ceremony at the St. William Grant Park Monday night. It was one of 4 places in Jamaica where beacons were lit simultaneously at 10 p.m., reflecting similar ceremonies in the United Kingdom and across the globe to mark the 60th anniversary of Queen Elizabeth's reign. The beacons, which were designed by the Jamaica Defence Force and built by students from the Caribbean Maritime Institute, will remain lit for 24 hours. And that's it for the JIS News today. I'm Stacey Ann Smith. Thank you for watching.